The flight, nice and
Oh yeah, commercials. Here we go. Oh yeah. Hi everyone, and welcome to We Are a Crotchety Old Man
and a woman.
The podcast for you, with you, and even about you. Abigail, how are you?
I'm doing just fine, Arden.
So right now we are in the great state of Delaware. Oh no, or did we just get into Maryland?
Maryland.
I am joined in a car. We are actually doing this not just remote, but moving remote. So this could be a really interesting test. I am with Mr. Fun, who will introduce himself momentarily. Abigail, are you hungry?
Of course I'm hungry.
Because we're on the road, we might actually have fast food, which is actually good because it's National Fast Food Day today.
That's exciting.
Yeah. What's your favorite fast food?
You know, when I was in my youth, McDonald's was my go-to.
Right.
But I don't know if it's considered fast food, but now I'm with Chipotle.
Chipotle. Mr. Fun, what about you?
I'll stay with McDonald's. I mean, as boring as it sounds, nothing's better for me than McDonald's French fries.
I would also say McDonald's, and do you remember the number 2 meal? 2 cheeseburgers, fries, and a Coke. That was my go-to.
You know, when I lived in New Jersey, it was always White Castle.
Oh, yeah. Some sack of 6?
Sack of 6.
Sack of 6. Did you ever have a sack of 6?
No.
So that was National Food Day. Now, Abigail, do you know the difference between what fast food is or what restaurant food is? I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think I'll look it up and we can discuss it on the next podcast.
That would be useful because I took my mom to IHOP today. Actually, I'm lying. I didn't take her. She didn't actually go, but we were going to go to IHOP today, and I didn't know if that was considered fast food.
Well,
Mr. Fun is shaking his head saying no.
As a connoisseur of IHOP, I would tell you that it is not fast food.
Ah, okay.
I personally think fast food has to have a drive-in window and or a takeout counter. Primarily. You can have a sit down, but it has to also have one of those two things or both.
All right.
I agree. I mean, IHOP, it's barely people ordering to go. IHOP is more of a restaurant.
That would bring up like those small Chinese food stores where it's only takeout. Would that be considered fast food? I'm glad you're going to look at. That's a good investigation to go over. So what is today? November 16th, correct? I think it is. We've been driving. Yes. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but not really that much crazy stuff going on in history today. Are you ready for some history, Abigail?
Yep.
I should let everyone know, Abigail is actually also out of the basement. She's actually at work today. Is that true? Or did I lose you?
Yes, I am.
I was about to say, did we lose you? That would be embarrassing right at the beginning. So for history, in 1532, going way back, Francisco Pizarro, I can't even speak, Pizarro, a Spanish conquistador, took 200 men. He invited a bunch of Incans, over 80,000 Incans.
Incans or Incas?
Incas. Okay. Sorry, thank you for pointing that out. And he actually invited the emperor as well, and they massacred thousands of them because all the Incas were unarmed. So 200 men. Now, we're not talking about modern weapons. So they were using old-fashioned, I guess they were muskets, maybe? Or were they like those flintlock rifles or something? Anyway, but they also had metal swords, halberds, things along those lines, and some cannon. And they massacred all these people. And the emperor of the Inca actually surrendered. And he eventually had to bow down to Christianity as well. Pretty interesting. Then I'm going to use two in a row here from two different times. In 1959, The Sound of Music debuts on Broadway. Abby, are you a fan of Sound of Music?
Yeah, that movie at least is a classic.
The movie is a classic. I have one story to share. So my brother's daughter, his first, we watched it with my grandma, her grandmother, and we watched it. And the opening scene is when she sings "The Hills Are Alive," and the daughter was like, "Again," and we had to rewind it. Again, rewind. Now that's when I don't think it was a DVD player either.
I don't know.
I think it was a VHS tape, so we had to keep winding it. And she was like, "Again!" And I think we watched it like 8 times. Years later, I believe my mom went to
Now, Arden, I told you you're not the best singer.
I know. Hey, I sang in church when I was 4 years old.
It wasn't good.
It was great. I sang solo at church. But of course, that's when I still had a voice back then. But my mom went to see the Von Trapp family, and I think it's the Sound of Music. It's that family's grandkids, and I believe she actually saw them in concert. Pretty interesting. I'll come back to 1974, but in 2001, just to make you feel old, the first Harry Potter movie opened. To me, that's amazing. It's 23 years ago.
What was it called?
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Give us the premise.
Wow, you want the premise of the original?
Was that when he discovered he was a witch? Or
yes, he discovered he was a wizard, and he went to Hogwarts Academy, and he then learned all about the bad guy, and he didn't know who the bad guy was, and it's a Christmas movie because the whole main part of it takes place in Christmas.
Oh.
Yep. Abigail, we may have lost Abigail, so we're still recording, so she may pop back in at any moment. So we're just going to keep going.
I'm back.
Oh, she's back. So we were just going over Harry Potter. This is what happens when you're driving on the road. This could be a great episode. Wow, that's rude saying it without Abigail. So 1970. That's so mean. 1974. I've never heard of this. Abigail, have you ever heard of the Arcibo message?
No.
There's no way you're saying that right.
It's ARECIBO. Archibo message. It was sent by radio. Radio waves were sent into outer space to reach out to extraterrestrials. I never heard of it. I remember the SETI program was set up for that. Don't know. All right. So, Abigail, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
All right. So that's what we had in history.
Go back to the movie.
What movie?
Christmas movie.
You
had a question about
Harry Potter?
Yeah, what was the other question about? Is Die Hard?
Oh, yes. We talked about this, I think, a bit last year with Nick from Nick's Flicks. Plug. He actually said, and most people would say that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Do you believe that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, Abigail?
Okay, I absolutely do, and I would say it's in the top 10.
Wow, a top 10.
I'm embarrassed. Who was the star?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis is quoted.
But that does not include. All right, but the Die Hard movie does not include Hallmark classics.
Yeah. Okay, well, of course.
Bruce Willis is quoted as saying he doesn't consider it to be a Christmas story. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Yeah, I do.
I did, because even the music was Christmas.
There's everything about it. When it takes place, the music, it's Christmas.
I actually heard that a couple people were saying Rambo should be a Christmas movie because it actually also takes place during Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
And there was a big scene where he's shooting a machine gun and all the Christmas decorations are being shot. So, yeah. Anyway, did you want to... so I'm with Mr. Fun. Mr. Fun, introduce yourself and talk about your podcast.
So my name is Mr. Fun. We have a podcast. This week will be our 100th episode. We've done 100 weeks in a row, and it's called Talk About. with Biff, Lucky, and Mr. Fun. It's 3 college friends. We happen to be in the same fraternity, getting back together almost 45 years later, talking about our lives and laughing, sharing our experiences, telling a few dirty jokes, and just having a good time. But we have a nice a following, and that's Talk About with Biff, Lucky, and Mr. Fun. Please give us a listen. Let us know what you think.
Do you have a sample of one of your jokes?
Well, our jokes tend to be a little risque, but here's one
That's okay.
Isn't so risque. So Abigail, Arden, and Mr. Fun went on a hunting trip, and we had never been hunting before. We weren't sure which guns to use, how to load our guns, or anything like that. But we came upon some tracks, and I got down and I said, I think these are bear tracks, and then Arden got down and said, no, I think these are deer tracks. And thank God Abigail pushed us out of the way, or we would have gotten run over by the train.
Because they are train tracks. I like it. I like it.
If you want to listen to more silly jokes like that, tune in to Talk About with Biff, Lucky, and Mr. Fun.
And now we're addressing, because we went international again last week. This is going out to our fan in Helsinki, who's listened for, I believe, the last 3 weeks. Shoot us, reach out to us on Twitter at Crotchety Old Men. That's at Crotchety Old Men. We want to hear from you. Also, our fan from, I think it was Elstonburg, England. That was another one. So reach out to us. We want to know, A, if you're real or if you're a bot. If you are a bot, reach out to other bots. We like our bots because we want to grow. So, Abigail.
Yes.
There you are, still there. Did you watch any of the Tyson-Paul fight at all?
You know, I tried, but I fell asleep before the ladies' matchup.
Oh, but you actually were watching the boxing.
Yes, I had hoped to stay up, but I didn't.
Well, who did you want to win? Or did you not care?
I really didn't care, but it was interesting that it went the distance.
Oh, see, I've seen no highlights of it at all. I got a bit. We were not even. We'll talk about our trip, I guess, why we're driving in a little bit. But yeah, I actually was hoping that Tyson would win just to get rid of Logan Paul.
I thought it was. I from what I've heard, because I haven't seen it either, it was a waste of time. It was a bad exhibition of boxing, and just Tyson's too old, and Logan Paul's not a great fighter. So it was just sort of an exhibition and not worth the time, is what a lot of people are saying. I'm not sure if that's right, but that's what a lot of people are saying.
Oh,
okay. So why did everyone hate the other guy?
Paul, because he was an internet guy for years. Like, he made silly videos, like maybe 15 years ago, something like that. Like, Logan Paul was doing like dance routines and stuff. And then he and his brother just started lifting weights, and they got bigger and bigger and bigger. And he said, I'll give my, I think his brother is into like professional wrestling.
They're big Trump supporters, right?
I think they're also big Trump supporters. Yeah. They did a podcast. He was on his podcast too.
It was the brother.
It was the brother's podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they do that. And Tyson is a Trump fan as well.
Yeah.
And do you remember Butterbean?
Yeah.
The king of the 3-rounders? I would actually have liked to see Butterbean versus either one of those two.
He's probably 80 years old.
Yeah, I know. He was like 380 pounds, and he can only box for that long before he got exhausted.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway. So, Mr. Fun, why are we driving? Like, first explain the timetable of us driving from where to where.
Yeah, so great man passed away. Dad of one of my best friends up in New Jersey. So we decided to go. The funeral was this morning, so we came up last night, but we couldn't miss the Terp game, so we stopped at the Terp game. It was a great game, so all of our plans to leave early got spoiled by the fact we wanted to stay to the end. So we left there around 10, We arrived with a couple stops for coffee up in Jersey around just before 3, and and now we're headed back because we're big Maryland football fans, so we're headed back to get back to Maryland in time for the 6 p.m. kickoff. So it's been a whirlwind of travel. Seems like we've been in the car forever. And I just want to note that I've driven the whole way while Arden has prepared for his podcast.
Okay, Mr. Fun.
Yeah.
You should be grateful that you're driving and not him.
I drive like an old man. I do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I'm grateful that my buddy here decided to take the drive with me. I really appreciate it. It would have been difficult to do it alone that late at night. So I was happy to have a partner.
See,
That's
I am
great.
working.
Yeah.
I do silly things like this.
Yeah.
Now,
All I know is on my first trip with Arden, I was horrified by his driving technique.
well, you've been in my car, and you got to say, well, I can understand.
I also think it runs in the family.
Yes.
You come from a long line of bad drivers.
But we're safe bad drivers.
Well, it's because our attention span isn't there. I mean, we lose concentration after a couple miles.
So, Abigail, before we start talking a little politics, you know what I miss right now?
What?
Basement coffee. I am having.
bet you do.
I gotta admit, I'm having grandma coffee right now. Now, Mr. Fun is blaming it on the coffee container that I have it in, the travel mug.
Well, start by saying that we stayed at Grandma Aud's house, and Grandma Aud hooked us up with coffee on the way back. But it's in a container that Arden brought from home, and it smells like perfume, and the coffee tastes like perfume, and so we're missing good coffee.
And it was that actual coffee mug was from Abigail. That was the first gift Abigail ever gave me.
Wow.
But maybe it smells like Abigail. Maybe it smells like her perfume.
Nothing says I like you like a coffee mug.
Well, it's a travel thing, and it's also a Starbucks one. But the Starbucks logo is washed off because I used it so many times.
Right.
So,
well, wait, before you do this, can you explain to your audience what basement coffee is?
Basement coffee. It's the finest coffee you can have in a basement.
Is it a certain brand?
It's our brand. It's our basement coffee. It's the only coffee we drink in the basement.
What's the origins
of the coffee?
Where'd you get this coffee that became basement coffee?
Somewhere in the basement.
Okay. It's a little confusing.
It's made from the I would say the coffee bean from Colombia, and it's shipped directly to the basement. And then where it is, I would say, aged very well in a machine that Abigail purchased in a coffee setting. Yes.
Nobody else can get basement coffee.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
When this podcast explodes, it's going to be coffee and a podcast in the basement.
Okay. So the basement coffee also has a better environment than Starbucks to hang out in.
Right.
You can relax. Like in Starbucks, there's always people walking around here. Like it's just you on a nice reclining chair with a fireplace, and you just relax.
All right.
You can take in a movie.
What's the question for Abigail?
I'm sorry. We're back. Well, I was going to ask her about coffee. So I have a question for Abigail besides basement coffee. I'm going to give you 5 brands of coffee, and I would like you to say what is your favorite from 1 to 5, if possible. So bear with me. So it's only 5. If you don't like any of them, or if you want to insert another brand, feel free. So here they are: McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, 7-Eleven, or Caribou Coffee.
Okay. We're strictly talking about coffee.
Coffee only.
And not foo-foo drinks.
Not foo-foo drinks.
I can tell you that I was hooked on 7-Eleven coffee for many years.
Okay.
But,
That was your favorite, right?
That was my favorite too. Still
yeah, and so, but today I'm back to only drinking black coffee again, and I like my Kirkland brand breakfast blend from Costco.
Wow, Kirkland brand #1 from Costco. Wow, that's a good pick out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Now, if you had to, you're on the road and you stopped, and all 4 of those were available. All 5 of those were available. Which one would you go to?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts. So you would not go back to 7-Eleven. Interesting. Good call, Mr. Fun. What's your go-to?
I like Dunkin' Donuts 1. I really do like McDonald's coffee.
Yeah.
And then 7-Eleven and Starbucks, and I haven't had Caribou in a long time, so I put that last just because I don't think it doesn't come to mind. It's something I remember.
Nice. So now I wanted to go into because everyone knows we've gotten very political. This is not the Ask Abigail question. This is just for Abigail.
Okay.
Abigail, what are your thoughts about first Kamala Harris, that because we were going to talk about this last week, but we went so far over time, that she won one state that had voter ID laws, and she won all of the states that did not. That she did, yeah. So she.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
How do you say it?
Okay, we shouldn't be surprised.
I think you said her name wrong. You would have gotten yelled at.
Kamala?
All right.
Camel toe? What? Wow, don't make me get
Sorry,
raunchy.
go ahead.
Okay, so with Kamala, I don't think it's a surprise at all that she won the states that did not have voter ID requirements. I wouldn't have it any other way. So, other aspects, what do you think of what's come out after the election about her, Arden?
I think she's done. I mean, the stuff with she paid for all of the entertainers. Like when you get an endorsement, I thought endorsements were like free. She basically paid, like, what'd she pay Oprah, $1 million? Like, that's unbelievable. Or $5 million, and then her victory party was going to be like $25 million.
I believe it.
That's insane. By the way, there was also a whole thing about people who went to Diddy parties all support Kamala.
Nice.
Just throwing that out there, but yeah, she spent millions on people, and some people were a lot less. I wonder if they were offended. Like she would do the one with a podcast. That one, it was the woman's one. Mr. Fun, do you remember that one? Call Your Daddy, where she had a set built, to look just like that. Like, seriously, who does that? Who spends and she wasted over $1 billion. And okay, she just spent $1 billion on this, and she's in the red, and she wants to run the country. Not very good on the finances.
Well, I think Elon Musk would have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, I don't think, and it's I'm loving it. I mean, I'm hoping it's quick, it's fast, and it takes effect quickly in everything they do. And if it's wrong and done quickly, hopefully it can be changed back. Does that make sense?
Right. And did you hear the one thing that was thrown out there about Kamala?
About what?
About her post defeat, that some Democrats feel that Sotomayor on the Supreme Court, because she's 70 years old, should step down, and they should give Kamala the spot. Now that is the most laughable thing out of this entire election.
I don't get it, because Sotomayor, she's 70, right? I think 70.
Yes.
That's not that old. I mean, considering the president is in his late 70s, president-elect. Joe Biden was in his 80s. Nancy Pelosi is running for re-election. She's in her late 80s. I mean, unless Sotomayor is has like stage 4 cancer, that she should stay there.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's laughable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. So, did you have anything other thoughts about the election or after elections? Not going into all of the appointments. I wanted to do that next week.
Yeah, I mean, I have many things to say, but at the end of the day, Trump won, and that's all I care about.
Nice. And did you see anyone taking down their yard signs?
I did not.
I did walking the dog, and I was laughing to myself, and it was really bad because it was like one of those deep fat guy laughs that I have, that I'm the only one laughing. But I was like, and no one was around. It was lonely. So before we do the Ask Abigail question, I wanted to do some quick true and false since we're traveling. And since Abigail has lived almost her entire life, or has it been your entire life, in Virginia?
It's been most of my entire life, with 3 years.
Okay, so are you ready for the history of Virginia?
I don't know. Let's see.
Okay, true or false? The Spanish first discovered Virginia in 1607.
Okay, I mean, this is like day in history. I will just say true.
That is true. I thought you would say the English, but it was actually the Spanish. Okay, number 2. Jamestown was the first permanent colony of Virginia.
True.
You're 2 for 2. All right. Are you ready? Number 3. Richmond became the capital of Virginia in 1699.
Okay, when was Jamestown?
Jamestown was the original as soon as it was formed. Actually, it was
Oh, but you don't
1607.
know the year.
1609, excuse me.
All right, and you're asking me when Richmond became
Did
the
Richmond become
capital?
the capital in 1699?
I'm gonna go with no. False.
That is correct. The second capital was Williamsburg in 1699. Richmond became the capital in 1780. All right. In the year 1776, Virginia was the most populated colony.
I'm gonna go with false because I have to believe Boston or one of those areas was more populated.
It was sort of a trick question. The answer is true because slaves actually are part of that population.
Okay.
So you're doing good so far. Number 5, and we actually had this question before. The first 4 presidents of the United States were from Virginia.
Oh, I don't know when Benjamin Franklin was president. He was not from Virginia to my knowledge.
That is right.
So I'm gonna go with false.
Well, everything was good except for Benjamin Franklin, who was never a president. But the answer is false, so you are correct. It was the
Now
first.
I'm embarrassed.
John Adams was the second president of the United States. He was from Massachusetts. But the first 4 out of 5 presidents were from the state of Virginia. So you're doing good. All right, here we go. And I see that we have like 10 minutes left. In 1863, so right during the Civil War, Southern Unionists moved out west and created the state of West Virginia.
Oh, there is a story behind that. I'm gonna go with false.
Oh, it is true. All right. Number 7.
Oh,
Virginia
darn.
first Are you still there?
Hello?
There we go. Hopefully are you still there? Here we go. Was the Confederacy the first state to join? I'm sorry. Was Virginia the first state to join the Confederacy?
False.
That is correct. They were actually one of the last. Number 8. There were 2 battles of Bull Run in Manassas, Virginia.
True.
That is correct. Number 9. In 1791, Arlington, Virginia was used for the nation's capital and then returned back to Virginia in 1846. Did you say yes?
You broke out.
Are you there? Are you still there? I think she said yes.
Now I can hear you. Now
Okay.
I can hear you.
I'm assuming you said yes. Is that
I didn't
correct?
hear the question.
Oh, in 1791, Arlington, Virginia was used for the nation's capital and then returned back to Virginia in 1846.
Ugh. False.
Oh, the answer is true. Originally, Washington, D.C. was a square. Now it's not a square. Maryland still lost theirs. And the last one, this is a tough one. VA is the 4th state that Arden has had a mailing address.
False.
That is correct. Arden has had 3 mailing states, but lived in 4 different states. Wow, way to go. Well, hopefully we don't run out of a connection again. So Mr. Fun had a question for Abigail.
All right, maybe it'll be quick because Arden said that he didn't want to talk about the cabinet picks. So, but my question is to Abigail about cabinet picks. If you had to appoint Arden to a cabinet position under the Trump administration, what cabinet position would you appoint him to?
Well, it certainly wouldn't be the Department of Transportation.
Oh, wow.
So good.
For multiple reasons.
For multiple reasons is correct.
What would it be? What would it be?
I don't know. I'm thinking. They don't have a cabinet member for history.
No.
No, you can make up a cabinet position, I guess.
Yeah, we can call you a czar.
A czar of something.
Right.
That's a tough one.
The czar of popcorn.
Throw out some cabinet positions to me.
Health and Human Services. Chicky, the cop's coming. Hold on.
If there's a cabinet position for leisure, he could be the Secretary of Leisure.
Yes, I think so.
Wow, big ass truck is telling us to move over, and we just did.
What about you? If I asked that to you, Arden, what would Abigail cabinet position be?
I think she would make an awesome border czar. She'd be like, "Get the F out of here, you sons of bitches!"
All right.
Yeah, she'd be up there with a shotgun.
Well, I would have Grandma Aud by my side.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, Abigail has fired an AR-15. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you could be up there just on top of the border, just getting ready to take out anyone trying to sneak in. So yeah, that would be it. What about you, Mr. Fun?
Cabinet position what I want.
Yeah. Steve. No.
You know, I don't know. I really don't know. I would be Secretary of. I'd be in charge. I want to be an ambassador. Put me in. Move me to England or something.
Ambassador to Chile.
Yeah, that's it.
Ambassador to Uruguay.
I do like Chile.
I do like Chile. Yeah.
Okay. I think Mr. Fun should be actually the Department of Transportation because if Pete Buttigieg can do it,
Yes.
He's a total joke.
I certainly do all the driving. I certainly do all the driving.
But if Pete Buttigieg can be the secretary, he's nothing but a joke. And since Mr. Fun tells jokes, he's more appropriate.
That is true. Or it could be like the Health and Human Services, like Rear Admiral Levine. Well, Abigail, I hope you enjoyed our podcast. Hopefully this went through. It's going to be fun trying to edit this. Any last words?
No, just drive safely, and I'll see you later tonight. And it was great to talk to you, and hopefully the recording will come out well.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. Reach out to us. We are Crotchety Old Men. Have a great evening.